Okay, hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to my 300 subscribers special. Well, it's not actually going to be the special. I will be planning something in the following months for the 300 subscriber special. But I thought I'd do a little development stream. Thought I would hopefully teach you something. But let's go ahead and get those tunes cracking. Alright, so welcome to the stream everybody. Welcome. If you are joining today, welcome. Just checking we are good, everything is on fire. Alright, yes it is, okay. So what we're going to do now is, for one, we are going to let's go ahead and open up Blender. The first thing we're going to do today is going to open up Blender. So we'll open up Blender and I'm going to go ahead and create a folder on the desktop for the time being, and we'll call this folder My Quick Game. Just an example. My Quick Game. Okay, so in here we're going to have our textures. So our textures. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go online and we're going to grab ourselves some textures, but we'll do that in a bit. So first of all, what we're going to do today is we are going to be modeling some assets, bringing them into Roblox Studio and show you how to take an asset from Blender and turn it into a usable asset in game. So let's get started with Blender. So we're going to go ahead and model a tree or chair, something simple. So we'll go ahead and open up Blender as the first step we want to do. So Blender is now open. We can go press A to select all of our objects. We're going to press delete. And then we're just going to turn down that music just a tad. Just a tad. There we go. Okay, so we've got our Blender here. We're going to press Control S. I'm going to save this to our folder, My Quick Game. And we're going to call this Live Demo. Okay, so let's say we want to make a tree. How do we do that? I have made this in the past, but we will show you. I'll show you again. So we're going to go ahead and press Shift A to bring out a mesh. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and select a cylinder. We're going to come down to this little box at the bottom left. If you are watching, welcome to the stream. You're welcome to follow along. So we'll go ahead and press this little cylinder. And what we've got here is the vertices. So we can change this and get, enough. And if you hold shift, you can be a little bit more accurate. You can hold control as well. But let's say we want a tree. So I'm going to go ahead and do something like 8 sides. Maybe it's a little bit less. I'm going to go for something like maybe it's 5 sides. No, I want it really even. Maybe it's 4 sides. No, it's a cube. Let's do 6 sides. There we go. That's a nice tree shape. So let's go ahead and go into edit mode by pressing tab. And now that we're in edit mode, we can go to Q, move, press G and control to move it upwards. And whilst we're in this mode, we can press 3 on the keypad. And that's going to allow us to select our faces of our tree. And what we're going to do now is we're going to build our tree. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and scale it. Make it a little bit more thinner. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab the top half of our tree here. And then we're going to go ahead and bevel it. Just like that. And then we can go ahead and grab our face. I'm going to go ahead and press Shift D. And then we can go ahead and E to extrude upwards. And now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press A, I'm going to go to Control R. I'm going to go ahead and scroll to change the selection. I'm going to 2. And then what we can do now is we've got a segment of our tree. So what we can do now is we can actually select our segment of our tree. Just like this. We can press O to go into object mode, proportional editing, and we'll go ahead and press that to linear. Now what we can do now is we can press G. And then we can just give it a little bit of a curve to the tree. We'll go ahead and select our top of a tree again. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and make sure it looks a little bit natural, rather where at the moment it does not look as natural as it should be. So let's go ahead and we'll do is select our middle part of a tree here. And we're going to go ahead and hold shift and just dragging to select multiple faces. We'll go ahead and do Control R again. And I'm going to go ahead and do another 2. And then we can now select the center here again. So we're going to do that again. Press 3. Go all the way around the tree. Oops, didn't mean to do that. On shift. You can now just go ahead and grab it by holding G. And give it more of a natural bend. It's not going to be, you know, looking like, you know, because not every tree is straight. So, next thing we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and just do one more bump in the top here. So we'll go ahead and do Control R, and we will do that. And no, we will not do the tap dance, please. Thank you, no. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our top of our tree here. I'm just going to try and straighten this out a little bit so it looks a little bit more natural at the top here. So I'm quite happy with that. So now what I'm going to do is to get some branches off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select our edges here. And I'm just going to go ahead and press E to extrude them outwards. Just like that. And then at the moment it looks very square, but we'll be fixing that. So I'm going to go ahead and do another branch here. And we'll go ahead and go into face mode. While we're in face mode, we want to go ahead and choose the bevel tool again. I'm going to go ahead and choose the edge mode now. We're just going to go ahead and grab the top of the model here. The bottom of our branches. I'm just going to go ahead and pull them out. So it gives this natural kind of blending look to the top of the tree and the tree itself. Now it doesn't exactly work on the top one, so we won't be doing it on the top one. But that's going to allow us to have a natural curvature from the tree. So it is, you know, it looks like it's part of the tree now. Now all we have to do now is press O to go out of proportional editing. We'll go ahead and select our faces, and we'll just go ahead, make sure I've got everything up here on the side. I want that up on the side as well. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do Control R again. And we'll go ahead and I'm going to do three bars this time. 2, 3. There we go. And then we're just going to go ahead and again select the center of our tree. And then we're going to press O for proportional editing. And then I don't want the whole thing to move, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a smooth. And then that's just going to give us a nice little bend in the tree, which is what I want. And then I'm going to select the end of our tree here. Just like this. And then we'll go ahead and do the exact same here. And just so it looks a little bit more natural and it doesn't look like it's just thrown together. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm just going to go ahead and move this one as well. Maybe move that one downwards. And go ahead and pull this one outwards a little bit more. And grab that one. Pull it upwards a bit more. So I'm quite happy with that. I think that looks pretty natural for a tree. Now, I realise it kind of looks like a cactus as well, but that's not the intention today. We're not making a cactus today. But what I will do is try and make it look a little bit more like a tree root, so to speak. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go ahead and do Control R. I'm going to add myself a little line here. I'm going to go about halfway. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to just select this and press, holding Shift to select, and then press F. I'm just going to go around and do every other one. Just like this. And then I can go ahead and select the inner faces and do an F there. Do the exact same here. And we'll go ahead and smooth it out in a second. F again. F again. All the way around the edges of this tree. Just to make it look a little bit more natural. And what we're going to do now is we're going to select the edge here. We're going to bevel this. Oh no, not bevel, sorry. Set the face. Now, we need to put smooth, sorry. Smooth it. And then all we're going to do now is hold Control. And we're just going to make it look a little bit more natural. Any areas that are showing this, so here, for example, just going to go ahead and move, pull them inside. Make sure proportional editing is off. And then what we're going to do is do the exact same for these parts. So we'll go ahead and do smooth. And we'll go ahead and make that a little bit larger than that. Yep. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to select the faces here. Just like this. And just like this. I'm going to do this one. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out again. And then I will pull this line out. And then all I'm going to do now is I'm going to select the faces here. So there's one here. I'm just going to bring this down to here. And then, as you can see, it's inside the rock. So what I'm going to do now is just going to pull this rock back so it matches up. And again, it doesn't look the best at the moment, but we will be fixing this all in a bit. Just going to give the tree a little bit more depth. So what I'm going to do now is pull it out. There we go. And that's going to give us a nice natural, tree shape at the bottom there, rather than it look like a cactus, which we don't want. We don't want a tree looking like a cactus, so it's not a tree then. So let's move up to the top half of the tree. And for this, what we're going to do now is we're going to open up Google. And we're going to go ahead and simply search up leaf. Ideally, you want one transparent, so we'll bring this up here. Transparent, yep. Go to images. And ideally, you want to find a leaf that is transparent. So let's do something like, what we're going to do? Let's do something like, I'm going to work out which one I want. That's not a bad one. But I want some actual, proper leaves. I don't want those type of leaves. I want some actual leaves that will work nice. Something like that will work, though. So we'll go ahead and save the image as a... We'll save it to our folder that we've saved here. And we can go ahead and call this leaves. Like that. Go back to Blender, and now what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and do a Shift A. We do a plane. We move this over here. And we're going to go ahead and press P by selection. And what we can do now is we can go to our UV editing. No, sorry, shading, no. Shading tab. New. And then we can go ahead and pull on our texture, which is going to be our leaves. And then we do Shift A, image. We'll set that onto leaves. Now right at the moment it doesn't look the best, so that's fine. We'll go back to UV editing. And I'm just going to move this texture paint over to the right. So we can have shading next to the thing. But anyway, go into the render mode. And all we're going to do now is we're going to select our top of our plane here. I'm going to press U and do Smart Project. Then we're going to have a 0.10. And as you can see, we have got our image, but it's not quite right. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to press 2. And I'm just going to press G and grab it and move all the way up to the top. Making sure our mesh is all around this image, or these leaves, should I say. So holding Shift again. See at the top it's just not right yet, so we need to do that yet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back over here. And we're going to go ahead and do a Control R. And then we're going to do about 4. We'll do about 3 lines by pressing Control R, scrolling. Press 3. And what we're going to do now, we press Q, go into knife, which is on the over here. And all we're going to do now is trace around our leaf. Could snap onto the lines that we've just created, which is going to make our life a little bit easier to do. Just make sure we get all this leaf. So we'll do one here, all the way around the edge of this leaf. Then we press Enter. We can delete those. We'll go continue on going in, and we'll do it all in one go. So we'll go all the way around this and get rid of all this white. So we just want to try and get the leaf left. That's all we're trying to do. And snap it onto the edge there. Enter. And then just go ahead and follow all around these little stalks of the tree. All the way around here. Go all around until I get a nice shape. Don't worry if you go onto the leaf, that's fine. Just trying to get rid of that white background is what we're trying to do here. So all the way around this tree trunk. Just like this. All the way around here again. Make sure we get all of this white space. It doesn't matter too much if you go on the leaves. Won't matter that much. Press Enter. We have done. I just muted you. So now we're going to go ahead and move on. So we've got a little white bit space here, so we'll just get rid of that. It'll be very easy to get rid of that though. Nice and easy little area there. And we'll go ahead and get rid of this last little white bit. All the way over to here. All the way up to the edge. Just like this. Yeah. Okay, and press Enter. Then we can go ahead and do the same for this part. All the way around this leaf. Just like this. Press Enter again. And go get all this little white part. I think this is the last part to get actually, so there might be one more I think. I'm not sure. We'll find out afterwards. We should get all this white area off of this texture. Okay, there's one little area here. We'll get rid of this. You're trying to do as best as you can, that's all you're trying to do. We're not trying to go for perfect here, but we're just trying to get it to look a lot more like a leaf rather than it looking like some sort of weird wallpaper that you'd have on your wall. Right, okay, let's go ahead and go to move. Now we should be able to select our white areas. And what we're going to do is just select all of them. Ensure you are, if you hold shift, you can just click on them. And then we'll press X and do faces. Now we've got our mesh that looks a little bit like this. What we can do now is we can select our mesh here. And we can actually grab our lines here that we've got already pre-made. So to do this, I'm just going to go ahead and press C. I'm just going to hover over this area here. And I'm going to turn on proportional proportional editing. Press O to do that. I'm going to go ahead and set that to linear. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pull it upwards, just like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and start pulling this mesh around, just making it look a little bit more 3D. As you can see, it doesn't look the best, but that's fine. With G, I'm just going to pull it again, just trying to get it to look more natural, like a leaf, rather than it looking like some sort of weird, you know, so we're giving it a little bit of 3D-ness to it. Yeah? So, now you've got your leaf. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and go back to our tree. And we're going to go ahead and add a vortex group. I'm going to go ahead and name this vortex group. I can't name it. So I'll go ahead and click on our other mesh here and do a select. Not select, sorry. Do an A. And then we'll go ahead and press assign. Just like that. Now what that's going to do is it's going to enable us to go onto the tree. And we can now go down to our particle system, which is up here. Where is it? Yeah, particle system. Do a new. And then we can go ahead and do a hair. And we do advanced. And we'll go ahead and go down to render. We're going to change it from path to object. Then we're going to select our instance, which is going to be cylinder 1. And we don't see anything at the moment, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and do the where is it now? Rotation under velocity hair, we're going to change it to the object y-axis. Sorry. And we want to make sure that we've got this vortex selected in the right one, which we do not at the moment in time, which is not great. We didn't need to do that. On our tree, we need it to be selected. So here we need our vortex group. There, please, thank you. So as we wanted it to be here, not there, so we do this. Make sure we're selecting our thing and do assign. There we go, that's what we're meant to do. And I just realised that means that we're going to have to do that other part again. So I didn't mean to do that. So we'll go ahead and remove this vortex group here and remove this particle system, because we're not going to be using that on this model. So we're just going to go ahead and do a vortex group here. If I can find out where it is. There we go, so a vortex group. And now what we can do is we can go into our particle system, add, hair, and then from path we change to object, select our object, make sure it's under advanced, a rotation, set it to Y. Okay, and we need to make sure we can find out, so why is it not selecting that? That is the question. So let's go ahead and grab our tree here. And we can go ahead and go to UV editing. Press U. Smart View project. There we go. And I've just realised our music should be playing in the background. So we should be getting that back on now very soon. There we go. So we need to get our leaf to be appearing on our tree. So what I want to do now, I'm just going to go ahead and select this by holding shift and clicking, and do the exact same again and press C. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I get it all where I want the leaves on the tree. You can scroll to unclick. Make sure I get all of this area of the tree. Press enter, scroll around the tree, do C again. And then if we go into the texture paint mode, so go into texture paint, you can see that what's happened here. So we can see how our leaves are appearing on the tree. If we go ahead and go under to the weight paint, we just want to draw where we want our leaves on the tree. So we're just going to go all the way around the tree where we want the leaves to be. So it's going to be all around here. Make sure they're all coloured just by clicking on it, and that should colour in our tree. So we'll make sure we get our leaves in these areas, just like this. Making sure that is all nice and textured with this red. That's where all the leaves will appear. So once you're happy with what you want, I'm just going to go a little bit further down. Make sure it's all around this bottom half of this tree. All the way around this bottom half of the tree. Yeah, nice. All around here. One last little bit here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our object here. And we can go back to the settings tab, which is our particle system. And we'll go back to our render. And instead of so we've got our object, yeah. The rotation, we want to set it to the x-axis. The z-axis, we want to find which one looks the nicest. And we'll go ahead and turn that around the front. We can give it a randomness as well. Make it more random. I want it to be more like leaves and more, you know, natural to the tree. The scale, we can bring the scale in as well. I want that to be on top of the tree, so we're going to do, try and get the top of the tree. There we go. So that's quite nice. We just have to play around with the settings a little bit now. Make sure we get the, you know, what we want.
Doesn't that just drive you nuts?
So I'm going to go ahead and do something like this.
Galaxy S22. You can simply ask Google
as you can see, it's not looking the best at the moment because the leaves are all on the floor. Hello, welcome. I know it's been a while. Been busy. So we just want to try and get the leaves all around this tree. The best way we can. So I'm going to go for something a little bit like this. I don't like the leaves on the bottom, so I'm trying to see if I can fix that. Let's go for something. Try changing this setting here, see if it gives us a nice. So maybe I can press. Oops, we don't press E. No, that's right. Can I? Need to weight paint yet. Just want to make sure I'll get all this tree here. So it's not placing them correctly. Need it to place them properly. Okay, we can change the number up here to bring them down. So we're going to do something like that. Make sure we get it. There we go, that's more like it. That's what I want. We'll go for something like, maybe it's 100 leaves. Maybe it's not. Let's go like 1,000. I don't want to hit on the bottom of the tree. That's the problem. So let's do. Let's try changing these settings so we can get the right. Need to bring it upwards somehow. Man, that is a big tree. Well, leaves, I mean. I want to bring it upwards. I don't want to. I think what I'll do is I'll make it small again. make it small. Do something like that, and we'll make that. Try and get the x-axis maybe. Like I want it to be above the tree rather than it being one side. Just do something like this. See if we can try and spit. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. Now I can just like pull it down a little bit. And then we can just kind of play around with the rotation here. Give it a little bit more. I want a few more leaves than that, I think. So that'll do for now. We can always fix it later on. But what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our modifier section, which should be here. I'm going to press Tab. We need to go to the tab, and we need to go to the settings tab. Everything is fine on here. Just checking we've got everything here. Don't want to do anything then. No. Things should be fine on the. Checking we've got everything. We can change the way that they generate in. The volume. Just looks a little bit nicer. We'll go ahead and we want to make this an actual thing. So what we're going to do is press Tab, and we'll go to our modifier thing. Settings are in the. I know the settings are in there. Apply. So applying it has not done anything. So let's go back. Control Z. We need to make sure that is selected on the. Why is it not allowing me to do that? Let's do a. I want to skin it. Not really do anything there. So it should allow me to press this make real instance. But it's not allowing me to. If I go into edit mode, maybe it's allow me to do it now. Weird. That should definitely be working. We've got the particle system in place, yeah. So we want to make sure it's set as a vortex. So let's go to our tree. Let's go back to the vortex group. Make sure it's assigned as the vortex group. That's what it is. We'll go back to our layout mode. And we're just going to go ahead and deselect everything. And go back to our section here. That's what it is. We're not. Yeah, then make real instance. That's what I want to do. I'm going to press make real instance. So we're going to go ahead and select our tree. And do make real instance. There we go. Now we've got our leaves as individual parts, which is great. But we don't want them all as one individual part. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our leaves. We can also delete this leaf now because we aren't going to be using this one. We can go to edit mode, make sure we select in. We can go ahead and select our. We need to find which one is the leaf on the floor. So scroll down until we find the one on the leaf on the floor. Probably should have named it. Would have been a lot easier. So we have 1,000 leaves in total. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try and find this specific leaf and press Tab. Select this. All I want to do now is remove the particle system. There we go. Press X and delete. There we go. Now we've got all our leaves in our blender. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and select our leaves. I'm going to join them together. So to do that, we're going to first of all go to the top of our leaves up here. I've got 1,000 of them, so I have to scroll a little bit. I can actually turn my scroll thing on to make it easier. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to select our leaf. So this is our tree. We've got a leaf here. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. There we go. I'm going to hold shift and click. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press Control J. And just like that, we've now got our leaves as one part. And first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these bottom leaves because I don't want these bottom leaves here. So I'm just going to go ahead and press C on it. I'm just going to go ahead and colour the leaves I want. Grab the leaves I want. All over the bottom of this tree. Scroll to make it a little bit bigger. Go for these. Don't want those actually. Go and press Enter. Making sure we get all these leaves that are down the bottom here. So they don't really fit in, which is what we don't want. So I'm going to press Enter. Now if I go ahead and press S, see it's scaling those leaves in. We want to press O to get rid of the proportional editing. We want to go ahead and scale them. Oops, nope. We need to make sure we are selecting them all. Not selected all the parts, that's why. We've got all these little parts of this model. So that when we move the actual leaves, it should move the entire thing. So if we go ahead and press X, we can delete the faces. And we're just going to keep doing that until we get rid of these leaves that are on the bottom. X faces. So again, we're just going to get all of these leaves at the bottom. X faces. Vertices, there we go. Make sure we get all these little bits of the leaves. Enter. X vertices. Enter X vertices. All these little points here you want. Enter X vertices. And then we will do ahead and see. We're going to go ahead and grab all these little parts here as well. Won't matter too much, so we can leave this as the next one. We'll go ahead and press Ctrl S to save our Blender file now. And we're just going to go ahead and you can see how it's already starting to look a lot better now. It's looking a lot natural than if it goes to the render view. You can see that it's looking like leaves on the tree. That's all about the settings, so you can play around the settings if you want. We'll just go ahead and just scale. Oh no. Select our leaves and scale them how we want them to be. Move them how we wanted them to be as well. Just going to move them up. I'm going to rotate them around a little bit. Just like this. So we can get a nice kind of natural looking leaves for our tree. And we can also, I think we can, I'm going to try this. We're going to do volume to mesh, or so skin it. See if Blender's going to like that. Blender might not like it. So we'll see if Blender's going to allow it. That's why I told you to save, because Blender can sometimes be a pain. Alright. Blender is not liking this for some reason. I don't know why, but we will see. It should allow us to go back on in some point in the near time of the future. We can go ahead and try and see if we can make it be a little bit more responsive. Blender, why? It's already set to the real time, which is the highest, so come on, Blender. If it doesn't work, we will probably just close out Blender. And we will open up Blender again. Which we saved it in here. If you saved it, it should be here. We'll go ahead and open up Blender. And we'll go to Edit, Open Recent, and just select our demo. Okay, now what we can do is we can get rid of this particle system. And we can get rid of the particle system on here, and we can also get rid of the vortex now. Vortex group, yeah, everything is good. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to make our wood texture, and we're also going to bake our textures onto the tree. So we're going to go ahead and go to a website which is going to be here. We'll go ahead and go textures.com. Okay, now textures. There we are. So this is one I want. And what we're going to do now is we're going to look up for wood. Log, maybe a log. Let's get a nice log texture. There we go. That's a nice like wooden texture there. Or like one of these. Some of these will work. Very nice. So what I'm going to do now is with this image, we're going to, it's 3D scanned as well, which is quite impressive. We are going to go ahead and choose the seamless texture. And we want to go ahead and download all of these, the height, the roughness, the normal, we want to download all of them. So we'll go ahead and do all of them. And we'll do the 512 by 1280. So 128. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and go into our shading tab. We're going to make sure we've got our wood selected. And we'll go ahead and press new. Shift A. And then under here, we're going to just go ahead and grab our images that we've just downloaded. They're all here. Open them up. Shift A and do image. And then with our image, we're just going to go ahead and select our albedo. And that's going to be our colour. There's our colour of wood. We can also go ahead and duplicate this. We do our height. We'll do a normal. So a normal is going to be there. Shift D, and we've got our roughness. Roughness is going to go into there. Shift D, and then our, no, we don't want to do that. Shift D, and we're going to go ahead and do our height. Now, under our height, we're going to go to our output. We're going to go to Shift A. We're going to go to displacement. And we're just going to simply drag that height into the height tab there, and displacement into there. And all we're going to do now is where this normal is, we're just going to grab this normal and place it into here. And that's going to make our texture look a little bit more, you know, like the texture that we saw online. We can change the values here to give it a little bit more natural, a little bit more metallic maybe if we wanted to. And we're going to go ahead and mute the sound for sure. We're going to go ahead and change the mid-level and the scale. And that's going to allow us to have this nice kind of natural looking tree. Sort of. We're going to go into UV editing and we're going to fix all this now. We're going to press A, press U, Smart UV Project. I'm going to do 0.0110. No, yeah, no. Yeah, 0.010. Okay, looks a little bit better, but we'll do U, Smart UV Project. And we'll do, instead of 0.10, we'll do 0.100. Right, and on here we can see our texture now is looking a little bit better. So we're just going to go ahead and select our model, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a Smart UV Project cube projection. That's our cube projection. We do a cylinder projection, sphere projection. We'll do a cube projection because I think that looks the nicest. Let's go back to our shading tab where we can play around with the values just a little bit more. And what we can do now is we can change the mid-level to get a little bit more detail into the actual mesh here. You can see how it looks a little bit like this, you know, there's imprints in it and stuff. So what we need to do now is we need to actually bake a texture here because we haven't got the metallic and we haven't got the specular. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and do a new texture. To do this, we're just going to go ahead and do a Shift D on our mesh here. We're going to press Tab, press A. Now we've got our mesh selected on our viewport here. And we'll go ahead and do X, new. And what we're going to do is we're going to type in wood metallic. Just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and I've just realized I've done something wrong there, sorry. New, we're going to do a wood metallic, wood M for short. And make sure that's set to 4096 because that's going to be 4K texture, which is what we want. Really nice looking texture. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our baking tab. In the render engine, we're going to set to cycles. CPU is going to be selected, and we'll leave the settings as they are. We're going to go ahead down to bake. And what we're going to do now is plug this into the emission. And then we're going to go ahead and do the emit and do bake. By putting it into the emission. That red, if you hold it, it will take. We'll get to that'll look really nice on our image. There we go. So here is our image. I know it looks blank at the moment, but that's fine. We go ahead and plug that into our metallic now. That's already given it a nice little shine to it. Now what we're going to do now is do the exact same thing for the roughness. So we'll go ahead and do X, we'll do new, and we'll go ahead and call it the roughness tree, whatever. Enter. And then we'll go ahead and plug that into the roughness. Oh no, we already got the roughness, sorry. The specular, I mean. No, we'll leave that at that, actually. That should be fine. So what we're going to do now is, with our images here, with the images that are in use, so for example, all these roughness and things like that. So we'll go ahead and go into the UV editing tab. I'm just going to go ahead and start by going down the list. And what we're going to do now is do image, pack, image, save as. And then we're going to textures. I'm just going to go ahead and save that as is, save. And then we'll go ahead and keep going down the list. So we didn't add the roughness, that's fine. We'll do image, pack, image, save as. And then we go to desktop, my quick game, textures, save as. And then just going to continue going down the list. Image, pack, image, save as. And I'm just going to go ahead and add this to the desktop, my quick game. There we go. And then we can go ahead and, no, I don't want that one. I want to do image, save as. Just like that, save. And then we'll go ahead and do the last two images that we have. So do image, pack, image, save as. And we'll go to my quick game, textures, save as. Got one or two more to do. Image, pack, image, save as. just like this. Textures. I didn't want to change the name, so I want to do back in image save as again. Textures, save. And make sure that our pack as well, so image pack. And then we'll make sure we've got everything else, so we've got one more to do, so we'll do this one. Image pack, image save as. Quick game, textures, save. Right, and now we go ahead and moving on to our leaves, which is what is the last thing we need to do. So we'll move to our leaves. Now we all want it to be one mesh. We don't want it to be this other mesh that we've got here. So how do we do that, you may ask? Well, this is where we're going to combine both of our meshes here. So we'll go to, first of all, we're going to go to our leaves first. We'll go to our shading tab. And then all we're going to do is, in our shading tab for our leaves, make sure we all got leaves selected. We don't want that one. Sorry, that was my bad. Leaves. There we go. So we have got our image here, which is great. That's going to work fine. So we'll go back to UV editing. Make sure we've packed our image, our leaves image. Image pack, image save as, and we'll just go ahead and save that to we're going to save that to the My Quick Game textures save as. There we go. Okay, so we can export this now. So if you go ahead and do file export FBX desktop, and we'll call this live demo FBX. We'll save that in the same place as we stored those textures. So we go to My Quick Game, textures, select mesh. Make sure we've got both of these meshes selected. Selected, visible, and export. Just like that. So now we can go ahead and open up Roblox, which is what we're going to be using, demonstrating on how to show you this. So we'll load into Roblox. And we'll go ahead and do a new game. We'll do base plate. And then we'll let that load, and we're going to go to File, Publish. Publish to Roblox, and we'll just do a live demo as an example. Now we can go ahead and go to our asset manager, go to meshes. We'll just go ahead and upload our mesh now under My Quick Game, textures, and live demo. And if you've done it all right, it should come up and it says unsupported format. That is completely fine. We can fix that. We'll fix these issues here. So we've got two unsupported format. Please change that basically. And then we've got something that's over 10,000 triangles. So let's go back into Blender. And we're going to go ahead and select our leaves. And first things first, see these little dots here? We want to try and get rid of these dots. You go back into edit mode. Press C. You can try and see if we can get rid of, oops, not them. Nope, it's not one. Undo C, 1, 2. So try and get all these dots if we can. Can't get any dots, that's fine. Oh, I haven't got anything selected, that would help. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to select our leaves now. And we're going to go to our mesh. And we're going to go ahead and do cleanup. And we're going to go ahead and do discriminate geometry. Scroll this up here. Now we can just go ahead and change this. That's going to tell us how many triangles there are. That's going to make it so there's less triangles on our mesh. Hopefully it's enough.
Attentions please. We got big new news.
Try and get rid of all these little
No problemo. If you
What we can do is we can do this, and we can do
want ice cream for breakfast. Caught the cat licking
P,
the butter. So, don't cry over spilled
P,
milk.
and we'll do by
Get
these
it delivered
parts.
to your door from Just Eat instead.
And that should
Delivery.
give us like 1,000 parts. That is fine, because now we can go ahead and
Only available from
grab the
participating
bottom
stores
half of these
and products subject to
dots.
availability. Service charge may apply. See justeat.co.uk for more details.
Do C. I don't want all these parts selected though, so that's the problem. If we go into Z, well, we've got something going on here. We can go into the red
Rockstar Energy Drink. Fuel the do-it-all you. Fuel the groundbreaking, mold-shaping, completely smashing it everyday you. Rockstar Energy Drink. Fuel every you. Grab your can today. Vitamins B3, niacin and B6 contribute to the reduction of tiredness and fatigue. A varied and balanced diet and a healthy lifestyle are recommended.
Yo people, it's your boy H. The new Lynx Epic Fresh Body Spray has our noses blessed with that. Smells
replace the broken pieces of you. Tearing out pieces of me. To replace the broken pieces of you. Don't tell me that you're sorry when you were taken off me. No, don't tell me that you're sorry when you were taken off me. No, don't tell me that you're sorry when you were taken off me. No, don't tell me that you're sorry when you were taken off me. No.
University of the West of Scotland, proudly named Higher Educational Institution of the Year in the Herald Higher Education Awards 2022. With career-focused courses, fantastic campus locations and facilities, outstanding support and a vibrant student community, you'll be sure to find your place at UWS. To discover more, including options for joining us in September, visit uws.ac.uk.
Do you think about what your future career could be and how to get there? Study